Hi, so we're gonna be making this cute AirPod case. So this is a AirPod Pro case. So make sure that when you're making it, you happen to take the measurement of this. So this is the size of the AirPod, which is about as the size of this. So I'm gonna show you the base of how to make this, and then we begin with that. So remember, we are making a case for AirPod Pro. So let's begin. Is 4-meter yarn and which we are using for the stems. I'm gonna keep it here. Of course, a scissor. Of course, stitch marker to keep track, and tapestry needle, of course, to make sure that you make a list of that. Gather around your resources and we shall begin. So begin with the base. We're taking this beautiful white color, as simple as that. So we start with a slip knot. I'm pretty sure you're familiar with how to take a slip knot. Take the tail on the end of your fingertip, rotate, take the continuation of the yarn, put it on the back, and flip the first hoop, and there you go, slip knot. That's how I make my slip knot. It's totally up to you how you want to make it. So yeah, so begin with, we chain 14. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and 14. So this is actually the base of my AirPod case. So that's the measurement I have taken. And to begin with, skip that first chain, go into the second and make your first single crochet. So I'm going to be making 5 single crochets. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So after making 5 single crochet, chain 3, 1, 2, and 3. When you have chained 3, skip exactly 3 chains because you made 3 chains here. So 1, 2, and 3. Skip 3 chains. From the 4th chain, you can continue making your 5 single crochets. So be precise about this, please. So make sure how many chains you're skipping, like that. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, the last one. So if you don't want to lose your work, you can go ahead, since this is your only one side of your round one, you can go ahead and do one thing, is that you can put a stitch marker in order to make sure that you don't lose your work, like that. So we're going to begin our second round with an increase. So we're going to be total of 3 single crochet in this increase. So it's more like, so as in, we're gonna make 1 single crochet in that same point where we begin, like where we ended, my bad. So I'm gonna put a stitch marker here in order to make sure that's the beginning of our round 2. And on the very next chain right here, we're gonna make 2 single crochet. It's kind of like an increase. So go ahead on your that loop. There you go. So it is a total of 3 single crochets, 1 here and 2 on the other from the second, and then continue making your 11 single crochet. So 1, 2, 3, and as you can see, that last stitch there, you're gonna do 2 single crochets, so basically an increase. So that is our last stitch. A little struggling to always go inside that last, but yeah, if you have a good grip of your darning needle, of course. So make another same stitch, making it kind of like an increase there. That's where our round ended. So if you want, you can also go ahead and put a stitch marker right there to make sure that you're starting your round from here, but it's totally up to you. So we're gonna, this is the first part of our round 2. We're gonna go ahead and make another side of our round 2, which kind of begins with 3 increase and followed by 11 single crochet and 2 increase again. So it's kind of like on that same stitch where we ended, make another single crochet, followed by into your next single crochet right there, the first one, make 2 single crochet, as simple as that, like that, followed by your 11 single crochet. Please make your 11 single crochet, 1, 2, 3, and 9, 10, and 11, followed by that last stitch where you're gonna make exactly 2 increase in that last stitch. So that is where is the end of our row 2. So as you can remember, in the last round 1 we put the stitch marker, so that is our round, like the end of our round 2. So I'm just gonna go ahead into that stitch and join my stitch, making a slip stitch, so that I can chain 1 and continue with my next row, which is round 3. So from round 3 to round 6, we're just gonna be making single crochets, as simple as that, nothing else. So I'm just gonna be making from round 3 to your round 6, which is a total of 3, 4, 5, 6, total of 4 rounds, just single crochets, exactly, single crochets. And since when I was making this AirPod case, I realized that I might have made a little too tall, because this is where your this body part of the AirPod case should be. So if you want, you can make only round 3 to round 5, which is 3 rounds of single crochets. You don't have to make round 6. So yeah, you can go ahead and do that, simple as that. Just make your rounds of single crochet and make sure to put a stitch marker exactly where you chained 1 and you began, if that helps. Just gonna be making my single crochets, and then I'm gonna come back on our round 5. So it's keep making your single crochets all the way till here, slip stitch, chain 1 again. Just to show you how we are ending our round, that is the last stitch of my round 3, and I'm gonna go ahead and slip stitch into that where I had occasionally put my slip stitch marker, sorry, my bad. Mm-hmm. there you go, slip stitch, chain 1, and continue with your rounds of single crochets. So we are about to finish our round 5, and in the last stitch we're going to be changing colors, because in this round we are making the stems of the pot case. So we'll be going inside that last stitch, and we're going to be taking out a loop, and we are not going to finish this stitch. We're going to be changing colors. So I'm taking green for the stem. I'm going to just take the green color and insert the color here, like that, exactly, just like that. Yeah, I'm gonna pull that white string really tight and chop that off, because that is no longer needed, not as of now. And what we are going to be doing is that we are gonna slip stitch first and chain 4. Okay, so let's first slip stitch into that stitch where we began, like that. Yeah, just like that. My bad, just focus. Yeah, chain 4 to begin. 1, 2, 3 and 4, and then we are gonna be making a double crochet. Okay, let's make a double crochet inside that very same stitch where we chained 4. So just like that, as you can see, that's the one. Looks like a stem of a flower. And what we are going to be doing then is chain 2. So when we chain 2, that is when we skip 2 stitches as well, and we'll go into that 3rd chain, like that. But my bad, just let me we yarn over, obviously, because we are making double crochets. Skipping 2 chains, go into that 3rd chain, and we make double crochet again. Okay, we make double crochet and then we chain 1 after making that double crochet, and we yarn over, and into that same stitch we make double crochet again. So it's a very simple method. It's like double crochet, chain 1, double crochet. So first, in the beginning of this round, it began with chaining 4, because chain 3 act as a double crochet and the 4th chain act as a space between the chain 3 and the double crochet we made, and then continuing with chain 2 and the chain 2 space simultaneously, and with continuing on our 3rd chain, which is here, double crochet and a chain 1 and a double crochet into that same 3rd stitch. So it is very easy. It's chain 2 space, skipping those chain 2 space as well, yarning over into that 3rd chain after skipping 2 chains, a double crochet and a chain 1 and a double crochet again into that same space. So it's a double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, 2 chain space, double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, chain 2 space. It's very simple, just like that. Keep making this stem part of this case. We're gonna do all the way to here, and I'm gonna come back. As you can see, when ending this row, I see a 2 chain space in between, and I also see that we already have the stem in the ending of our row. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna go inside right there. I'm just not gonna make any more of this stem, because it's gonna really widen our work. I'm just gonna slip stitch right there, ending this stem row. So that puts an end to our work. If you want, you can do one more thing to create that 2 chain space. You can chain 1 and then you can go there and you can slip stitch, make a 2 chain space like that. And now we're gonna be taking off this yarn, green yarn. Why? Because we are going to be working on the buds, the flower bud. So if you want, you can go ahead, flip your work and check which is the side you like more, which is the side which is like more tight, something like that. And trust me, as of now it doesn't look bit much in shape, but after you make the flower bud, it's gonna give some shape to your case. So yeah, it's getting really dark out there. I'm gonna turn on the light. So this is the view. So as you can see, it's about to be evening. I started the tutorial in the afternoon, and wow, look at the view. It's pretty, like sunset, about to be dawn. So to continue our next step, we are gonna be taking this color, and we're gonna start with inserting our hook right inside that space between this double crochet into that very starting corner, like that. We're gonna be chaining 3. Chain exactly. When you're doing this, you're doing it on the right side. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna work on this side. Sorry, my bad. So I don't know what's wrong with the focus today. Chain 3, 2, 3, make 4 double crochet. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Just like that, and then take out your hook, insert into that chain 3 space, first chain, and go inside that last loop of the last stitch and just do a slip stitch, just like that. There you go. Then what we are gonna be doing is that we are gonna chain 3 again, 2, 3, and we're gonna make skip into this space, and we are gonna make exactly your 5 double crochet, because here we chained 3 and then we made 4 double crochet. So here we're gonna just make 5 double crochet, and that chain 3 is acting as a space between our tulips. Simple as that. So 2, 3, 4, and 5. And when you're done making your 5 double crochet, take out your hook, insert into that first double crochet, go inside that loop, slip stitch, simple as that, chain 3. There you go, simple as that. So you're going to repeat this process until you reach till here. Okay, so keep making your 5 double crochet in your individual stem gap, taking out your hook and then finishing your flower, and then slip stitching it, and the chain 3 acting as a space. Simple as that. I hope you're clear. You can go, you can watch my popcorn stitch tutorial. I've made a hair headband, a flower, phone case as well, so it's very simple to make, so nothing much difficult. So I'm gonna come back after I'm done with this row. So I'm about to finish the last flower of this row, so I'm just gonna finish off that flower, and As you can see, we are done crocheting the flower buds in all of the spaces. So I'm just gonna go ahead, chain 2, and then I'm gonna go ahead and slip stitch like that. And we are done with our flower row, and now we are gonna make this white portion on top of this. For that, what we are gonna do is very simple. We are gonna take the white yarn to continue, and I'm just gonna insert it here, and I'm gonna chain 1. Simple as that. Just chain 1 like that, and obviously tighten your existing yarn to make sure that your work is not slipping off. Just drop off the orange yarn. And what we are going to do is, on top of the flowers, we are going to make 1 single crochet, and on that chain space we are going to make 2 single crochet. So as simple as that. So beginning with our 1 single crochet and then making 2 single crochet in the chain space. So if you want, you can you don't have to struggle yourself to go inside the stitches. You can just go ahead, dig in your crochet hook and make the stitch. Getting bad with my vocabulary day by day. It happens at times. So no worries, as long as you guys are getting what I say. 1 single crochet on top of the flower and 2 single crochet in that 3 chain space. It's as simple as that. So I have made myself a commitment of posting every week despite my hectic, busy schedule. Take off this yarn, and all these excess yarn you can clean it up by using your darning needle and stitching it all the way around, all this excess yarn. I'm gonna go ahead and make the cap of this earpod case. So this is how the body of the earpod case look like. Honestly, I am way more satisfied with this than the previous one. I mean, the previous one color is very pretty, I agree, but this one's like the size is very accurate. So we're gonna go ahead and make the cap of this one, for which we are taking a measurement of, it's the same, so we are chaining 14 for it. So chain 14. So I'll chain 14 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. The cap is like, want it to be small enough, then you can go ahead with the 12 as well. So I'm just gonna go ahead and do 13. Yeah, and then what I'm gonna do is I am gonna make 12 single crochet. Okay, just keeping the first one and making 12 single crochet. So make exactly your 12 single crochet. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10, 11, and 12. So we're gonna go ahead and make we're gonna go ahead, let's gonna count if it's 12 or not. Yeah, So now we're gonna make an increase. So for an increase, we're making on that same space as that, an increase, just like that. And then we're gonna make 13 single crochet again. So if you want, you can put a stitch marker to remember, if that helps. I'm just gonna put a stitch marker here, like that. Yeah. And then we're gonna go ahead and make 13 single crochet and an increase again. So go ahead and make your 13 single crochet. Just be careful when you dig into your stitches. And 2, 4, 5. Sorry about that. Since we made 12 single crochet on the beginning of our round, so please make an increase and then make a 12 single crochet, not 13. After you're done with making your 12 single crochet, you're legit gonna make an increase. So it's more like going inside that same stitch and making an increase. There you go, same as that. And we are gonna go ahead and make go inside that stitch. Okay, so what we are gonna do now is we are gonna make our round 2. Round 1 is done. So first, just go inside that very same stitch where we began our round, the skipping, if you remember. And we're gonna start with a round 2, which is a total of 12 single crochet and then 2 increase, and then 12 single crochet, 2 increase again. So start with your 12 single crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, and 12. That's the last. And then the stitch marker where the stitch marker, take it out and make your increase right there. So that was the ending of the last row. So make an increase. So 1 increase and followed by increase number 2. Put your stitch marker there, just like that. There you go. And then continuing with your 12 single crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. There you go. It's done. 12 is done. And after you're done with your 12, you're going to make 2 increases. So go ahead and make your 2 increase. 1, increase number 1, follow into that very first stitch by 2. So when you're done with your last increase, you want to go ahead and slip stitch into that very first stitch where we began our round, just like that, and chain 1, and this is very simple. So this is round 3. So round 3, we're just gonna be doing simple single crochet all the way around. Simple as that. But don't forget to put your stitch marker so that you remember where's the end point. So yeah, I like to chain one in beginning of my rounds to make sure I don't lose my rounds. So round 3 to round 6, or however you want to make until you reach to a certain height of here, you keep on making your rounds of single crochet until you're satisfied with the height. So basically the tutorial that I was following, it said round 3 to round 8. So this is my round 3, and I'm gonna do until round 5, and then I'm gonna come back and see if the height is sufficient. So keep making your rounds, attaching your slip stitch markers, making sure that the stitches are accurate and not, making double stitches or something like that. So this is our round 4. So keep making your rounds until all the way till round 5, and then I'm gonna come back. So till round 5, I don't feel like it's sufficient. As you can see, you're gonna stitch this till here, the back portion. It should come till here. So I'm gonna go ahead and make 3 more rounds. So basically round 3 to round 8, which is like total of 5 rounds, is all about single crochet all the way around, as simple as that. So I'll just make these couple of rounds of single crochet, and then I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna stitch this thing just like this, and yeah, this portion, and this is totally optional, it's up to you. So I'm pretty much done. So I'm just gonna chop off this. If you want, you can cut this really long so that you can use this end to sew the back of your earpod case. So sew it as long as possible, like not obviously as long as possible, but long enough to stitch it with the body of your AirPod case. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna use this case because I need to stitch it. So we are stitching this portion of the case. So I'm just gonna go ahead and take this part into my darning needle. I'm gonna stitch it. So an easy way to stitch any of your crochet project is to use the crisscross method. So let me just zoom in to show you. Make sure this is adjustable. So zoom in, and what I'm gonna do is, as you can see the single crochets, this is why it is a little difficult to see. I'm gonna go onto the first stitch of the loop. I'm not going inside the entire loop, I'm just going inside that first stitch, just like that. Oops. I'm just gonna go ahead, take that first loop of my body and using the last loop of the head. So just like that, first loop of the body and last loop of the head, just like that, making sure your stitches are seamless. No need to go to the entire loop, but rather going into that last loops. Keep on stitching until you reach towards here, and you can easily open the earpod case. I wanted to thank Kukacrochet by Putri for this tutorial, for teaching me how to make this. Honestly, don't worry, I'm giving you credit for this beautiful pattern. It is not mine and I do not own it. I am just sharing a tutorial on it because I felt like making it and sharing it with my subscriber. that is all. Very happy that you guys decided to watch my tutorial, and thank you so much. I couldn't thank you guys enough. I hope you enjoy making this. You can make this in different versions. That is all, and thank you so much for watching Trish Crochet. Thanks a lot. I appreciate it. Thank you. Bye bye. Lots of love.